Okay, so these are just sugar tongs, basically. Three sets of sugar tongs. This is by JW, which is, I can't remember who they are now, someone or other. But you can see here that the hallmarks got X. These are the marks. Very similar, Edinburgh and Exeter. This is Exeter. That's Victoria, which I was disappointed to see Victoria, to be honest with you. But this dates to the 1850s. I can't remember exactly which year. I think it's, actually I'll show you this. This is the most stupid thing I've ever seen. That there, right, that little mark there is either a K or an R. For the run of dates, the K and the R is almost identical. So if it gets slightly worn, you've got no way of telling. Absolutely no clue. 1851, I think it is. Something like that, 1851. Yeah, it's similar to a B, but I think it's a K or an R. You say that, Miss Groucho, but I'll show you why you could be wrong after, because it's ridiculous. You won't believe it. You won't believe it at all. I'll show you why it is, why I say it's either K or R. I'll show you later. But yeah, these are nice pair. Got a good decent weight to them. I was hoping to win these. I didn't think I would win them. I thought they'd go for quite a lot more than I got them for. These are very nice. Take a look at the engraving along here. Very nice indeed. The one downside to them is the monogram there, but with it just being a C, they're easier to sell. If someone has the name C, like maybe, should we say Chris? Ooh, they'd be inclined to buy these, you know, nice. But the engraving's beautiful, and these are a nice old set. This is George III with an L mark. I think these date to 1801, I think they are. So I think it's 1801 for these ones. Oh, thank you, Miss Groucho, that's very kind. I might keep them for myself then. The last pair is these ones here. Again, no engraving on these ones, which is absolutely fine. Again, George III, D. These ones date to 1799, I believe it is. Maybe that can't be possible, can it? How can it be 1801, 1799? Whatever the case, these are 18th century, late 1700s. Yeah, I imagine that's the case, but I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Mud. I don't know. There must have been an early machine somehow to do that, but because it's very, very fine work in between the dots as well, see? It might have been done at a later date. Maybe perhaps that's not the original design. Maiden, good to see you. I've got the pipe right here in my tract. I'll show it to you in just a minute. So I won these for a total of £50. I think it's about £62, just under £62 with commission. And I would expect to sell these for between £30 and £40 each. So I will show my uncle and ask him if he's interested in them for £90, and he would probably buy them for, I expect, £80, if he does buy them. Now, Maiden, I could have at least said hello. This is what I was working on the other day, Maiden. It didn't work out. This would have been a nice pipe, to be fair. But it's the hole here. I mean, it could still potentially work going through there, but no, it didn't work. But my... Droog, what are you talking about? My uncle is a dealer. He's my other uncle. This one here is the first pipe I attempted. Goes right through then. It goes right through the bottom. There you go. How's that, Maiden? There you go. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Jordan, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so that's the first lot. Quite nice. I was actually really happy to win those, and upon further inspection, I'm very happy indeed with that lot. Like I said, there should be £20–25 profit in there, with any luck. No, I'm not going to bother with them, to be honest with you, Mad. This is the first lot of the day that I won. This here. I'll show you. In the catalogue, they put the weight up as 5 ounces, which is 5 troy ounces, which is around 150 grams. That is incorrect. This doesn't weigh 150 grams. In total, the lot weighs about 300 grams. So I haven't weighed it total. I have weighed it. Can't remember what it is, but I think I probably bought it for weight value. To be honest with you, how quickly does silver tarnish? Fairly quickly. It takes a few months. It depends on how it's stored, but a few months. So this is what I won first of all. This is Chester. Chester's quite a sought after mint mark little trophy. It's a very nice little thing, beautiful little thing there. I mean, you know, for this, I can't remember what the weight is, but I sort of said, you know, sort of £40 for that. You'd expect £40. The next little item is, whoops, is this one here. A little bonbon dish. There's no damage to it, no little dings or dents or anything. Nicely ornamental. This one here is London, and it's actually made by Harrods. Look, Harrods London. This is a very, very nice item, and these two items here weigh about 5 ounces on their own. Again, probably expect £40 for this, perhaps £40–50. The next lot, it was described as a tea strainer with stand, and I took that as the case, because it does fit quite well. You know, it goes well nicely together, so I could still sell it as a set. I've been to Harrods once. It's an interesting place. Had pheasants hanging, nice. But unfortunately, it's not a matching set. You can see on here that this was made in Birmingham, mint mark fee. That takes it to. See, I have to look at my book. Looks like a late 1920s mark, that one, but it looks a bit more modern, slightly more modern than that. But this here was minted in London, and is a different maker and a different date. So this would be, again, probably a little well, I'm not sure, probably a little ashtray, I would expect. But again, this is a really thick silver. This is very, very heavy. Got a really good weight to it. I won these 4 lots, these 4 items for £100 total, which takes me up to 120, just under £122, including BP. Clearly a hat. La Mao, very funny. I do inspect the items beforehand, but the problem I have is that I've got to inspect. I'm inspecting sort of 40 lots at least. Going through 40 lots means you can't inspect them as well as you'd like. I always weigh my lots, so I take along some scales with me. I weigh what I've got here, and I knew straight away. Okay, I put down a provisional price to sell of around £240 because I was assuming that these were matching. If they're matching, I'd probably want about £100 for these over this one here. But you know, I'm still going to make a decent profit on this, £40, £50, £60. So, a man about to kill me. Very funny. But it's a lovely lot to win. I mean, this on its own, you know, made in Chester, is a really, really good lot. And talking about it, actually, I had somebody the other day, he asked me if I had any pieces from Exeter, and this here is a piece from Exeter, which again is quite sought after. So Exeter is a nice mint mark to have. You know, not mint mark, but you know, a nice assay mark. Sorry, ducks. Ducks are all right. I mean, they are slightly irritating, I suppose. Wait a minute. The problem is that they go quack all the time, don't they? Like, quack, quack. You're like, shut up. Quack, quack. And of course we don't eat duck anymore, do we? You don't ever see people go out duck hunting. You know, why not? Ducks are there to be eaten. That's what their original purpose was, probably. To be eaten. You're welcome, little maiden. This was the last lot I won in way of the silver. This one here. I won this for £60, which is around £72, I think, including buyer's premium. First lot here is little, as they call it, a squat candlestick. Ducks are tasty, yes, I do like duck. It's very nice indeed. Thank you very much, Miss Groucher. It was for little maiden, so, you know, I thought, well, I don't have to give her money's worth, really, do I? I'd probably sell this for £5, maybe £10, probably. Probably £10 for this. What's interesting about it is it's got a tremendous amount of weight. It's about 150 grams, but again, it's damaged badly. And underneath here, you'll see that it's actually filled with plaster. That's plaster. And they put the plaster on the bottom to weigh it down. It's sort of like a very thin layer of silver they coated in. Still enough silver to be hallmarked. Again, that's Chester. And what's interesting there is... Oh, no, that's not interesting. Never mind. They are both the same hallmarks. But squat candlesticks are generally more modern, I believe. I will have a look at that later and when I write it down and catalogue it all. But yeah, you have your hallmark on the inside at the top of the candlestick and one on the side as well. Never had duck? What? If you don't like duck, well, you're rather stuck. It's a nice thing, and for £10 you can't complain. The ancients thought to leave the label on it. Yes, good point, good point. The reason I'd sell it for so cheap is because damage there, damage at the bottom there would have to be redone, and damage at the top as well, just there. It still makes a very nice ornamental piece, of course. It's something that does look very nice indeed, but you know, it is damaged, so that puts people off no matter what. Very good, Max. Is 10 points to you. The rest of these pieces are very nice. This is nice. Now, you modern folk would be thinking, huh, what's this? I wonder what this is. It is, of course, a mustard pot. You'd have to be pretty silly not to know that. You have two lots of hallmarks on a mustard pot. One up here at the top. There we go, very nice. And one underneath. There we go, just there. There it is. It's made by Ha. I knew what it was, says Miss Groucher. Oh, that's a shame. Just realised that that's not the original. Yeah, that's not the original piece there, which is a shame. But they're always lined with blue glass, and you'll see why in a minute. Shame the spoon has been lost, says Club Class. Well, you'd be shocked in a minute when I show you that perhaps it hasn't necessarily. I'd probably sell this for, say, £25, £30. Got a decent weight to it with the glass removed, and it's a nice piece. Yellow and blue make green. Very good, Drew. 5 points. And this is why you use the blue glass. This is still my mum last night. She tips it over to look underneath. Goes everywhere, doesn't it? Look, it's still filled with salt. Some history. Cobalt blue and silver, such a good cut. Yeah, beautiful. Again, it's hallmarked at the top there. It'll also be hallmarked there. There we go. Very nice. Chester hallmark. Chester hallmark's very nice. Worth, say, £35–40 for that. Now, the reason we coat, the reason we have the blue insert here is because salt tarnishes silver badly. Look at this. Look at how bad that is. When I saw that, I thought, is that even silver? Surely that's not silver, is it? But no, it actually is. It is. It's been left inside here, like so. It's been left in there like that. And the salt, there it is, the salt, unfortunately, really, really badly tarnishes the spoon. And it tarnishes this as well. You can see at the top it is badly tarnished around here. But go back to some history here. Tarnish is just oxidation and rust. It's oxidation, it's not rust. Only ferrous materials rust. Only ferrous items rust. Anything else doesn't. So silver will not rust, but it will turn a rather dreadful shade of green for really heavy oxidation. At times the patina does get better, in which case it'll turn black, or it can turn black. And on coins, that's quite a nice colour to have in a way. But on silver in general, you want to have it actual silver. So going into the history of this, salt is covered, or at least I think it's coated these days in. It's not iodine, is it? What's it coated in? Anyway, during the 1930s, I think it was, they found a process where they could coat each individual grain of salt in what's it called? I expect Marxist or someone like that will know. Just look up what salt's coated in. Dear. Why? Why must you do that, Miss Croucher? Minus 50 points to you. Iodine. It might be iodine. And they say, I thought it was iodine, but I don't think it is. Anyway, they coat it. Each individual grain of salt is coated. And what that does is, it will stop it from clumping. So the reason we have modern day salt cellars is because you can sprinkle your salt nicely, the salt doesn't clump. With humidity though, salt, and this salt in particular, it's gone hard here, which you can still get, it's classed as, it's considered not sea salt, but I think this is what this is here, which is, they call it, not halal, what's the other one? For Jews. The ones that Jews are allowed to eat. They call it something or other. RYG, good to see you. Hope you're doing really well. Kosher, that's it, thank you. Yes, kosher salt, which isn't coated in that. And it was put in little jars like this because it would clump. So you would break it up with your spoon, and after breaking it up, you can then serve it with a spoon to wherever you want on each part of the table. But it wouldn't pass through a little thingamabob because it clumps, it collects the moisture and the humidity in the air. These days that isn't a problem. This also came with it. This isn't silver, as you can see there. Probably, that might be EPNS. It's a nice thing. I'll put this in my silver plate collection, sell it for £5. My favourite lot here, my favourite lot here is this. That is coming off a little bit there, but it's actually fine. Okay, Chester hallmarks, which are very nice. This is in beautiful condition. It says AF, but I think they made a mistake and meant it on this one here. They call it a ship's travelling inkwell, or ship's inkwell, they say. And I don't think there's any way to take the actual well out. As far as I can tell, there isn't a way to remove it. But you'd fill that up with your ink. And there it is. It is an absolutely beautiful little thing. It really is. And that's got to be worth £40, surely. So let's say £40 for that. This one here, £30, that takes me up to 70. 95, 100, around about 110. So that's about £40 profit in that lot there. This here is what we won. Okay, Miss Croucher, deal. Red, you're back. Don't know what you mean. I can't pay myself for the time spent at the auction though. I enjoyed the auction, so I also go for things that I would keep for myself as well. So I will be bidding on things that I am in fact going to keep. If that makes sense. Now it looks valuable, won't be stolen. No. I do need to get some. I just need to put on some glue there, just to seal that. Glue on that side as well. But it's very nice. Yeah, Red. But then the problem is you wouldn't win anything, and then that would be time spent. If I don't win anything at all, then that means it's time spent wasted, basically, because I haven't made any money at all. But as I say, there's people there that go there. They win 50 lots. But they're spending more money than I would sell things for. I don't know what they do with it. I really don't. Pennies per hour. Not bad, is it? So, this is what we've got here. I'll show you some of the... Wait a minute. I'll put on my glove on my other hand. But I am trying to, I've got so many boxes of silver and so on that I sell. So, like this here, these will all be sold individually. So, first off here, oh dear. Should we take that out? We'll take this off. So this here is a crown of Victoria. No, it's not Victoria. Yeah, no, it's George the. Let's see, George the IV. This is badly worn, unfortunately. This is heavily worn. Charles and I had a wedding coin that some kind English folks gave me when we were flying to England in 1980. Nice. I don't know how much it's worth. If it's proof, then they're usually collectible coins, aren't they? Like sort of collections. I don't know how much they are worth, to be honest with you. There we go. These ones here, they're all been priced up already, most of them. That is nice, Drew. Yeah, billions of them, but well, I don't think there's billions, but they'd still be worth, if you look them up, they still do have a value. So, like, he's put this down as £4.20 for this little coin here. 1697 sixpence. £4.20. I don't know why he's put it down for that much. Did it there because of how badly worn it is. But if somebody wants to have a really old coin, a really old silver coin, for £4.20, you know, you can't really complain too much. This is an interesting piece where they used to put a hole in them. This is actually considered treasure, I think. This is considered treasure when you find them like this, especially the really old coins, because they've been holed, which means they were worn as an item of jewellery rather than a coin. It's a nice thing though. Some of these are more rare. For an example, this one here, which is minted in Exeter. Either of these, I think it was. They were minted in Exeter, and Exeter minted ones are rarer generally than the traditional sort of London mint. There we go, this is a Charles II half groat. That's in nice condition. Again, another Charles II half groat there. £25 they got on that one. This one here is a very beautiful little coin. When I say little, I mean very, very little. This is what's called a Maundy penny. They used to give out the Maundy sets. This is one of our early milled coins of Charles II there. And not worth as much as you expect. The markets, the flea markets, are the second Sunday of the month, but I'm going to start doing some more. But I've got some, like my uncle's going to be a potential buyer on one or two of the items I've got here, so. And I will put these up on my English hammered and early milled coin collectors site or group on Facebook. So that's probably only worth about £15, believe it or not, for something as pretty as that. Whereas these ones here, like this here, that's how much has it got on that one there? £35 for this here. A Charles I sixpence. And this one here is a Charles I shilling, which is also £35. It's clipped and it's a little bit worn, but it's a pretty nice example. And again, it's a nice later hammered coin. In our second tier, we have these ones here. And this is one to get a little bit excited about. Why is that not coming out of there? There it is. These contain, I've had these before, I have found a couple of these detecting, but whenever you find them detecting, they're always in bad condition. These are worth about £10 each in this condition here. And these are pennies, cartwheel pennies, always dated, well, generally always dated 1797. I think that was the only year they were minted. George III. And they're worth around £10 each. But these here next to them are worth £25 each. Look at those. These are made of copper. That's why when you find them detecting, they're pretty badly destroyed. But they're pretty hefty things, you know. You'd know if you lost one. In here you've got your other copper coins. These are copper farthings. Back when you used to have that tiny little penny that you saw, Charles II, a farthing was made of copper because imagine making this out of silver, it'd be far too small. It's a nice little thing. And there's quite a few little, small little of those farthings in there. Whoops. Does the oxygen turn them a dark colour? Yeah, just generally being, like this one here is a nice example of the patina they'll develop. I've had a couple of these detecting and they come out almost unrecognisable. That's the patina that copper goes when it's out of the ground. When it's in the ground, it gets completely worn. These ones here, these are worth a bit of money. Not a great deal of money, but they're worth a bit. And the reason for that is because of the condition. Again, if you find them in the ground, they will come out destroyed. Some of these are George IV as well. Sorry, might be William IV. Trying to find the one that's William the Fourth. There's a couple in here. There we go. William the Fourth there. What could you buy for a cardboard penny? Probably quite a bit. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid. But I think you could probably buy, you know, you could buy a fair amount of groceries, I would think, for a penny. This is the last tray that has anything exciting in it. But when I say exciting, it is quite exciting. Good idea, Mad. Never thought of that. These here are farthings. And again, you find them all the time detecting. You do find them whilst out detecting, you really do. But they're unrecognisable. You just refer to them as grots because they're copper. They corrode very, very, very badly in the ground. But when you have examples like this one here, it states this is a 1732 farthing. When you have them like this, they're very, very nice. Very nice examples. This one here. George II, 1750. Now, these here would be worth, I don't know, £15 for that one, maybe £20, don't know, maybe more. Then we come over to these ones here. This one here is, they call these dump issues, is what they're called. It's called a dump issue. The reason for that, I believe, is because of how it's been made there. You can see it's got almost like a ridge around the outside with the coin itself on the inside. These are worth around £30 each. On the slips of paper you will see information. They've also got prices. Take this one out here. 1695 F, £35 for that one there. But like little coins, I'll give you an example of this one here. William and Mary, 1694 farthing, £3. £3, in my opinion, is far too low. This starts at £65 in the Spink book. Fair enough, this is not F condition, but it's got to be worth £25, £30. Over here we've got some local interest, which are little tokens. This dates to 1652, and it's a Bristol token, farthing, Bristol farthing. You see there's even got 2 L's on the end of Bristol, and they've got the coat of arms of Bristol on the front, what we still use today. Beautiful. It's items for a lot more on eBay. Not necessarily. I've always bought things on eBay for cheap. But I mean, there's always that potential that you can sell the one there for a lot more. But I'm not going to go through eBay for these sorts of things. For these, I'll sell them separately on the group on the Facebook group that deals in these sorts of coins. This one here's a nice example. Look, Charles II, 1675. I mean, there's some fantastic examples here. There really are. These ones here are just run-of-the-mill pennies. At the back there, run-of-the-mill farthings, modern ones. In total, I paid around £412 for this set. It's difficult parting with so much money for me personally, as you can probably imagine, but I estimated that it's about £500 worth in total here. Probably some more as well. Yeah, probably more than that. So I know I can get my money back, but it's getting about doing it and doing it, you know, in the amount of time that I think is appropriate, as it were. Well, that's the thing, Mad. That is the thing. I don't know when these were done. These could be 20 years old for all I know. You know? Some of them, like let's see. Like these ones here, like £35, I think, okay, that's a fair amount. That's quite a lot for a worn coin. Same as these ones here. But then when you find out, okay, fine, that's extra mint, you know, for that year, that's quite rare. Then you think, maybe actually that's not a bad price after all. Maybe it's worth even more than that. Yes and no, Eagles. Yes, I'll have to photograph every coin individually. No, I will not clean them. You don't want to clean them at all. I've got the keys up here so I can actually lock the box. So rather than one coin being stolen, the whole lot go instead.